Limiting reactant. Most students, they don't know how to compare need and given, okay, in order to determine whether it is limited or excess. So make sure you know how to compare given and needed to determine whether it's limiting reactant or excess reactant. From this exercise, the balance reaction equation between nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas is not given. Therefore, the first thing that you have to do before you determine the limiting reactant is to balance the chemical equation. Because this question already gives gas the phase, thus you need to include the phase. If the question didn't give any phase, then you just ignore it first. Okay. Then the next one is finding limiting reactant. Remember to label given because we want to differentiate between the given mole and the needed mole. In order to determine the limiting reactant, there are two methods. For subjective questions, you need to do the stoichiometry, show the stoichiometry step by step, show how much is needed, and then why is it limiting reactant? Because the needed is greater than given. Another one common mistake that students do is when they compare hydrogen to nitrogen. It is incorrect. You must compare hydrogen with hydrogen. The second method is for objective question, that is using the ratio method. So you use the mole of given mole and then divided by the coefficient from the reaction equation, then the smaller number will be the limiting reactant. After you determine the limiting reactant, usually I will label which reactant is the limiting reactant, because if I want to do stoichiometry, I want to find out how much product is formed. On the left hand side, I must use limiting reactant. Don't use excess reactant because your calculation will be incorrect. So remember, left hand side must be limiting reactant. Now we go to percentage yield. For percentage yield, you need to understand the terms. For example, actual, theoretical, and percentage. Actual yield is given. It's not from calculation. And then, same thing again, if you want to find the theoretical yield, you must base on calculation. And if there is limiting reactant, then the limiting reactant is on the left. Do not use excess reactants. Then remember the formula, then you can get the answer. Remember, theoretical yield, percentage yield, actual yield, they are all referred to products. So that's all for this part.